Hey guys, welcome to this week's edition of Gameball, coming to you from a secret location, but you'll never guess who's inside.
Who is it?
Personal career highlights. I don't want to go into all of them now or anything, but what really stands out for you in your mind?
Well, what really stands out, I guess, playing, representing my country. That's number one. You know, if you get the opportunity to represent your country, it's in your sport or whatever field it is. You'll never forget it, and I definitely I've never forgotten that. But also at the same time, making great friends. It was more, you know, I was still registered at school to go back at the time, so you know I went to a couple of classes and so forth. But then I ended up going on this whirlwind trip, so it was a bit scary and surreal too, because you know, the year before I was first of being captain at my school, and I was watching all these legends that I got to line up with, and you know, 19 years of age, being the youngest ever Test All Black, and I look across and I see Sean Fitzpatrick, the longest serving captain, and Michael Jones, and the whole list of players, and Zinzan Brooks. So you know, all the greats of All Black rugby, and to stand there, sort of like, you know, like even the night before, I was with John Kerwin, who's one of our most legendary wingers, and I spent half the night looking across and going, yeah, it is him. And then I wake up in the morning and look across, yep, it's still him. And when I got my jersey, it was just, you know, constantly checking whether if it was real or not. And yeah, it was so surreal, but you know, I learnt so much from it as well.
Okay, and Jonah, at the time people would have said that you changed the face of rugby, that you were the first superstar in rugby. So at the time, would you have been aware of that and aware of how special your talent was?
Actually, to tell the truth, it was actually pretty hard. Like, you know, it was sort of thrown into the deep end. You know, I was a South Falkland boy who just loved playing the game, and you know, I guess it was just the way I sort of played it. You know, if I had to run around someone, I ran around them, and if they left me with no option and it was to go over the top of them, then, you know, I did that as well. So, but it was all about, I think the toughest part, it was just I didn't have anyone to really sort of show me the ropes in that area, and rugby had just gone into the professional era, and you know, I didn't expect it to go nuts. You know, you couldn't walk out of your own house, and you know, you just couldn't stroll down the road without people taking photos and so forth. So, but you know, I dealt with it, and I learnt a lot from it. But also, you know, it's made me a person who I am today.
Cool. And then as well, Jonah, throughout your career, I suppose you had a lot of injury worries, and I suppose as well your illness. Looking back, is it difficult now to deal with it?
No, it's not really. Like I said, to tell the truth, it's you know, you get dealt your hand in life, and you know, what makes you is that how you deal with it. And you know, it was part and parcel of my career. You know, I kept it concealed and away from the media and also the coaches. I made sure that my physicians, who was the All Black doctor at the time, I said to him, I want the coaches to choose me on my own merits. I don't want them to feel sorry for me or anything like that. I don't want no excuses. So if I'm good enough to make the team, they will select me. So, you know, even though that it was hard at times, because I wasn't recovering quick enough to, you know, to be able to front up the next day, but I will push my body beyond its limits, and and I guess that's the thing. Like, if you love something so much and you enjoy doing it, you'll pretty much push yourself to the limits that you want to push yourself to.
We spend waiting round for the end, means we're always missing out. We're always missing out. Do you know you're missing out? We're always missing out. I said, hey man, you can rise to the top, but you're lost. Tearing up conversation, without hesitation, yeah, we give it up. No, waiting for something to happen.
What about the blizzards at the the moment. You've a new album out, I think. So how's everything going? Are you on the road still?
No, we've just come back from New York. We just finished the tour and went straight to New York. And, you know, I think now we're just releasing a new single on the 28th of November, The Reason. So we're just kind of getting gearing up for that. But I think with us, it's just, you know, we're trying to progress the band in every way possible. Every time we have a spare day, we're trying to practice, we're trying to write, we're trying to... I think that's... I mean, if it's your full-time job, there's no excuse. Every time you have a spare day, you've got to do it. Like, you've got to get in there. These guys that are playing tonight have either full-time or part-time jobs. To do what they do is very difficult. To do what we do is easy.
Okay, you probably couldn't be happier though with the way your first album went, really, I suppose.
No, the first album's brilliant, but I mean, like the other side, we worked hard, you know. That's the thing, like, I'm a big fan of songs, you know, good songs, good pop songs, and, you know, the first album had pop songs on it, and they were immediate, you know, and I think the second record is kind of what we went for, good pop songs. That's what we like listening to, so, you know, I mean, there's no reason, we work hard, there's no reason why you shouldn't do well, you know. I was coached by Declan Kidney myself, the Irish 19s, and I can't speak highly enough for the guy. He's brilliant with people. He really got the best out of me, even though I wasn't, you know, I had a lot to learn. He got the best out of me, and I mean, I think you've seen it with Munster. Like, he has it. He has the people skills, and at the end of the day, the Irish team know how to play rugby. Individually, they know how to play rugby. They just need a guy who's able to, you know, not make them scared about it. I think Eddie O'Sullivan instilled that fear into them that, you know, you can't do this in this position or something. I think, from my knowing Declan Kidney, I don't think he'd ever do that to a player. He knows Brian O'Driscoll's capabilities. He knows Luke Fitzgerald, Rob Carney. He knows Rob, if he gets a line, could run from his own line and score a try. So I reckon he's just saying, just do it. And I think it's the first time in years that Ireland will ever get that kind of leeway from a coach. And I think that's a good thing.
Okay, I'm actually from Limerick myself, and there's a rumour going around Limerick. Trust me, I'm a doctor. It was wrote about Stephen Lucy.
It wasn't written about him, but I could have wrote a couple of songs about him that could have got him in a lot of trouble.
Happens, but it never happens. It never happens, and it's so hard to keep it up from day to day. To stay the same, work by the man. Reaching new love with the basics for happiness. Do you even know, or could it even be that bad? Is this the best you've ever had?
Done bands, yeah. I've shot my favourite bands. I did a shoot just recently, a few months ago, with MGMT. They're one of my favourite bands, so I was like starstruck. I was like, oh my god, I'm shooting MGMT. And then I shot Alec Vec. She's one of the world's top models, which was brilliant for me. I couldn't believe it. That was for the Sunday Tribune. So it's just really random stuff, which I just love it.
And I think your Bebo page is one of the top hits of like, you get so many visitors every week. So how would you deal with that, and how would you like monitor it and things like that?
I'm just on it all the time, and I get loads of work off Bebo, loads of models wanting portfolios. A lot of it is through Bebo, so I just keep it going. My blog, my Bebo, my Facebook, everything. I think all that is really, really important for any business to keep going. So I'm just addicted to it, basically. So. And
you were saying yourself you get a lot of up-and-coming models coming to you. So what advice would you give to them? I mean, you take their first portfolio pictures, yeah. I presume they're very nervous, and you'll have to, I suppose, ease them into their pictures.
A lot of them are nervous. Basically, when they come into me, it's just really comfortable atmosphere. So I just encourage them to do their own thing. I don't push them to do anything they don't want, or I just encourage them to do their own thing, and then I just basically shoot them, encourage them to move themselves and just to be comfortable. So that's it, basically.